goes down as like one of the best moments of my career.
I immediately got up, ran straight to Coach Coughlin. If you're going to get your ass chewed, you might as well get it out of the way early. He was probably in shock too, like what the hell just happened? It's not like, all right, next time, make sure you get out of bed. I mean, there was no next time.
My name is Matt Dodge. I'm a journalist in Portland, Maine.
In the hours after the game ended, angry Giants fans didn't hesitate to share their feelings with @MattDodge on social media. The only problem was that @MattDodge belonged to someone else.
Suddenly my phone starts buzzing off the hook. I thought I had upset someone because some of the messages coming in were a little bit hot, which, as we know, is not entirely odd on the internet. @InTheMix Radio, you need to go into witness protection now. Mr. EK267 posted a fake retweet shortly after the punt reading, RT @MattDodge, who's hiring?
Once Matt Dodge, the writer, figured out what had happened to Matt Dodge, the punter, he wrote an essay about the confusion for The All, an online journal. A piece that Matt Dodge, the punter, actually read.
I wrote the same piece. You learn how common Matt Dodge's name is too, apparently. That was a tough night to have that name.
This is an open letter to Matt Dodge from Matt Dodge. Hey buddy, how you holding up? While I don't have the whole greater New York City area calling for my head, leg, and slippery fingers on a plate, as a journalist, I can sort of sympathize with the rigors of the special team lifestyle. We are largely ignored when the job goes right, but make one mistake and they're all over you. If you want my Twitter handle, I'll set a fair price. If not, we need to get together and run some drills, because this ruined my whole day.
The Giants didn't drop Dodge immediately after the kick. He made it to training camp in 2011 before being cut. But no other team ever signed him, leaving him with an NFL legacy that's been difficult to process.
I used to curse it, I was pissed, but now I'm like, that was essentially like a really bad day at work. You know, it just happened to have 80,000 people watching.
Sam Borden with that look back. Sal Paolantonio live with us in Philadelphia to look ahead to today's game. The Giants coming off an almost equally excruciating loss this week. How are they trying to move past that before their game with Philadelphia today?
Yeah, Michael, to look ahead, you got to look back a little bit for both these football teams. Let me tell you the conversations that went on behind the scenes for both teams, beginning with the Giants. That disaster in Denver in the fourth quarter. The Giants came into work on Monday morning, and Brian Daboll, the head coach, took a very interesting approach. He told the team, listen, we're not going to flush away or forget what happened in the fourth quarter. We're going to learn from it. We don't want to dwell too much on it. We're going to learn from it. And he showed them the clips of what happened in the fourth quarter and said, listen, we're 1 or 2 or 3 plays. One play here, one play there. We win the football game. He knows he's got a very delicate situation with young players on offense like Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo, who are making big plays, but there are some mistakes being made. So he didn't want it to carry over, but he wanted the team to learn from it and take it into this game. As for the Eagles behind the scenes, it was very clear what Nick Sirianni said to the team. Go back to week 6. We need to play a much more physical brand of football. That's what Jordan Mailata said. We got to play much more physical on both sides of the ball. Gonna be tough today with missing 2 Pro Bowl players on offense. Cam Jurgens, remember, out at center. A.J. Brown out at wide receiver. Earlier, we saw Brett Toth lining up and working out with the offensive line to try to get some rhythm, because listen, you're going from Jason Kelce, Pro Bowler, going to the Hall of Fame, then Cam Jurgens, and now you get Brett Toth playing center against a very active, very good front four of Shane Bowen in this defensive lineup for the New York Giants, and they came after the Eagles really tough in week 6. So this is a very difficult game for the Eagles offense.
Sal Paolantonio outstanding as always, and it's interesting as he frames it. The backdrop of this game for both teams is a tough loss, right? It's the Giants trying to bounce back from last week, but it's the Eagles trying to bounce back from the week before. What are you watching for, Teddy?
I'm watching for the bounce back by the Philadelphia Eagles because a couple weeks ago, plainly, we talked about they got punked by the Giants. I mean, absolutely by a couple rookies. And, I mean, we can talk about all the things we're going to talk about in terms of how the Eagles can win this game, but I'm just going to be watching that defense because I remember watching what happened with these two rookies, Dart and Scadaboo, coming up on them, dancing on their grave, basically, and celebrating on the field. I mean, I love it that it's in the division because you get a chance to settle this score. All right, settle this score, settle it now before you move on. I still see this Eagle team as you are the world champion. Okay, you had a bad week, sure. Don't just, hey, listen, you got to turn the page because this guy right here and then Dart, you got to put the rookies in their place, and I hope there were conversations about this week because that's what this is all about to me, Rex. This is taking something personal, and now it was 2 weeks ago. You still remember it, going out there and settling the score. Finish business.
So true, Brew. And when taking it personal, man, like football has always been about being physical. And when you take it personal, if you're that offensive line for the Eagles, you better take it personal. You've got Saquon Barkley, who, by the way, the story last year was how how could the Giants let him go? Well, they can let this guy go. Where's the guy we saw all last year? It starts with them up front and being physical. That's what they got to do. And by the way, how about we commit to running the football? You want to slow that pass rush down on the Giants where you got absolutely obliterated the last time you play them? Run the dang ball and stay with it. If it doesn't work, run it again. Run it again. I don't care how long you got to. This is a game where I remember sitting back saying, we are not going to throw the football until we get a first down. Like, I don't care if we got to stay out there all dang half. Did you almost have to say, let's go and get this ground game going if you're the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, I agree. This is a line of scrimmage game, right? You heard the report from Sal, Sirianni talking about it, Mailata talking about it, right? Like, this is going to be a physicality thing up front. And obviously a lot of talk. A.J. Brown's out. That's obviously a big missing piece. But on the flip side, the Giants missing 2 starters in their secondary as well. And so I do agree. Let's get under center if you're the Eagles. Let's have some exotic run game, some multiple looks and different schemes, and then play action pass off of it. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is so dynamic at it, especially pushing the ball downfield. These are nice progressions to have as a quarterback, right? They're pure progressions. We're really putting that second level of the defense in a bind. I want to see it today.
Yep. You know, we earlier in the show, y'all had Phil Maul, y'all had Evan Kaplan sitting up here talking about the tendencies of the Philadelphia Eagles, about what percentages they had in the shotgun opposed to what they're doing under center. Alex, and you had a clip up there. Something to really pay attention to in a game like this, that a team that's used to being in the gun, and all of a sudden over a week or two, you want to go under center, try to run the ball to open up the play action game. One thing that your clip did show was the pad level of the offensive line. And what that does is gives the defense the indication, is it run or pass? Because if their pad level is high, I don't care if you show the ball or not, the defense, Brew, you know better than I do. You're not going to bite. So I think today, with Jalen Hurts under center, they're going to try to run the ball, but the play action, the pad level of the offensive line, is it high, is it low? Can they sell it or not, Rex? But another thing, you're talking about the physicalities of this game. There's one player, dominant player, Jalen Carter. No Jalen Carter the first game.
Yep.
2 weeks ago, I think you hit it right on, Brew. You're talking about 2 rookies making their statement on national television. Last week in the Denver Broncos, I don't know if the whole football world got to see the Giants and Denver Broncos play for 4 quarters. I think they saw the ending results. But Thursday night against the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles, the whole football world saw it. So for them to be able to come back out and to defend their NFC title, I think it's a must today. And I'm looking at Zach Bond. I've been saying his name for the last couple of weeks. Y'all know how I feel about defenses and them bringing the fight to the offense. So I really want to see what Zach Bond does.
Just real quick to finish up on Jackson Dart, the rookie. We're starting to see holes, okay? He's got 3 interceptions all in the 4th quarter. His performance is lacking in the 4th quarter. That's where he's got to get better today.
All right, interesting. I mean, he brought all of this spark and life and all that to the team, but obviously the pick last week was an absolute disaster. Now, this Friday is a day that Randy holds dear. It's Halloween. It is a wonderful holiday. But before we get to that, today, as you well know, is one of our most solemn and beloved holidays. It's National Tight Ends Day. That position group is off to a historic start this season. They've combined for over 1,100 catches, the most through Week 7 by tight ends in NFL history. And our Hannah Storm sat down